So many of you who know me or have been following me for a little while now might know I'm a dissolve therapist. And what that means is that I do body work and I help train and coach people to develop a deep quality of resilience through release. So we practice different methods to cultivate what we'd call listening skill, the ability to release our contrivance, our you could say ignorance, but our lack of awareness of our ability to release. When we are affected by stress, there's this underlying contraction, this habitual contraction in the mind and body. The mind and body are sort of two sides of the same coin. They reflect one another. The breath, or our chi, is something that bridges the gap between those two. But the way that our awareness is pushed and pulled on by whatever arises in our experience then affects the quality of our mind, which then affects the nervous system. The nervous system, if we're afraid or we see someone get hurt, we ourselves get hurt, we all know the cringe, the contraction, the tightness that happens when something really frustrates us, causes us fear, anxiety, all of these feelings, these emotions, no matter what they are labeled, no matter what they're caused by, they all have something in common, which is this underlying contraction in the mind and body. They tighten us up, they bind up our tissues, the fascia tightens up, and over time can kind of become like stuck, glued together. And the fascia is tightened by the nerves themselves. If you could see my hands here doing this, it's like each individual neuron kind of binds up and stops communicating. They become what we'd call dysregulated. A dysregulation of the nervous system is when there is no flow of communication, right? Physically, we all know that if something makes us white knuckle, obviously, it's like the mind tightens up, our spaciousness of mind, the freedom to be able to adapt, change, think clearly, flow from one thought to another, one experience to another, allow emotions to just come and, the wave of an emotion to come and go as we go about our day and our life. All of these experiences are meant to be fleeting. We adapt to them, and this is how we become resilient. When that adaptation doesn't occur from us becoming stuck, when we begin to struggle, when we get caught in mental loops, when we get caught in different emotions that get trapped in the tissues in the nervous system, we begin to have this feedback between the mind, the heart, and the body be really caught up in this habit of contraction. When the mind is constantly clinging and holding on, trying to protect our sense of self, when the heart is trying to protect us emotionally, closing down, and when the body is trying to protect itself physically, stuck in this state of habitual tension. These are the effects of stress. And of course, there is a glass ceiling to stress. We can only become so stressed. We can only, for instance, tighten a fist so much before we become if we start dying, basically, we're cutting off the flow of life. In the body, my blood can't flow through my shoulder if my shoulder's tight. Energetically, you'd say the chi is not flowing. If I'm stuck in my mind and my thoughts are just reeling, my breath rises up, my body becomes tight. And we can try to manage these things. We can try different breathing techniques. We can try to think more positively and steer our attention away from these stressful habits or these mental loops. We can try to restructure the mind, and we can try to exercise the body in all these ways. And all of these things have their benefits, but there is a profound transformative power to being able to directly perceive this stress response in and of itself and release not just the body, not just the heart and the mind, but the awareness itself. In dissolve therapy, we release the whole spectrum of our being through training to open the body, through cultivating, through certain practices, a sort of medicinal quality of mind. These qualities that in Buddhism they might call metta and mudita, appreciative joy. loving kindness. A lot of people have brought up gratitude these days, which is kind of connected to these qualities that we can allow to be revealed. Really, these things are qualities that are part of who we really are. All these layers of stress we accumulate, they add up. They are like layers on top of this sort of sweet nugget, this core of our being. This core of our being is untouched eternally. We can call it the soul, the spirit, the divine, whatever we want, but there is a part of us, this spark of pure being inside of us that we can reveal through practice, through training to recognize and cultivate release, through pure and deep listening. And to do this, there are certain practices in dissolve therapy. We do body work to transmit this skill to people and to release their internal organs, their nervous system, their fascia. We can do training methods where we train the body to become released and notice that the mind goes along for the ride, basically. And then we can begin to turn the light of awareness around in on itself and release the mind, release the awareness itself, which causes these layers to begin to melt away, which causes a reorganization, just the application of not intention, but attention, right? Look at these words: intention, to be in tension, and attention, to be absent of tension. And there is always going to be tension, but it's the wrong kind of tension. We don't want distension. We want the tension of being open and spacious and conductive, like a guitar string, right? If you tighten up a guitar string too much, it snaps, right? You want to finely tune that guitar string or that drum skin until life flows effortlessly through it. This music of life, the breath, the awareness flows effortlessly through the body, and we can maintain this quality of equanimity. And even when stress arises, even when we get caught up, we know the process to be able to see clearly the effects of stress, this contraction as it arises. Any thought, any emotion that causes this to arise, we can release right then. We can soften in relation to it. The system immediately opens back up. And the more we train, the more this causes this core of our being to just radiate profound peace, a deep, sort of blissful, radiant joy that is just present. It's just there. We can tap into it anytime. If you're interested in learning more about this, I want to invite every person who has enjoyed this video and watched to this point to join my free Skool group. There's going to be some tiers where there's extra material available, but I have added a bunch of material. There's two sections on it so far that go into working with our senses, with developing this listening skill and a very deep receptive quality of mind where we can really cultivate a lot of stillness, a lot of stability of mind, a lot of peace. And then a section that is focused on opening the body where we can create a deep foundation of internal strength and well-being and resilience in the body as well. So I'm going to be adding a lot more content to this, but I want everyone who's interested in this, I want your help. I want your help shaping this content for YouTube because I want to do more. I want to help more people. I want to get out there more, and I want to offer this to people. So I'm going to be doing some one-on-one coaching offers through the Skool. I'm going to have more content going up on there, but I'm going to use any of your questions. If you're interested in this at all, if you want to know more about it, if you want to have some back and forth, some Q&As, some live streams and stuff like that, then join the group. Ask me your questions, talk with other people who begin to join. I've just started it the other day, so come on, fill up the group and ask me your questions. Be some of the first people in there helping me to shape some of the content that I'll be sharing to the public and also some of the material that I'll be adding to the group, because I'm going to do it a lot based on what I know, but also based on our interactions. So I hope that you have found something of value in this and that you might find something of value in the group. This is for people who have this, although you might have done all sorts of different things, there's still something itching inside of you that you need some sort of deep connection to life, some sort of deep spiritual fulfillment. You want to be able to be more resilient or come back to a state of ease and rest and recovery throughout the day. I coach people to be able to come back into the state of harmony no matter what's going on in their life, and to be able to develop profound states of meditation, to be able to allow themselves to let go of old habitual tension, to help old injuries fade away, to have more of a stable and restful sense of vitality, and to create a deep quality of inner peace in their life, no matter what life throws at them. So take care, enjoy your day, and I hope to see you in the group. The link will be below. Cheers.